Sorry, guys, I don't have a desk. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Gentlemen are always awesome. Am I on the way to send for you?
No, you're fine.
I'm fine, okay.
I don't need to see.
I'm sending this out to anybody who wants to, so.
Yep, you're good.
No, this was smaller. Those I don't remember. This was from plus we have. Oh, the word. Yep. Come on. They're already having one. But they're-
It's 6 o'clock. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Call roll.
Kelly. Dan.
Here.
Pat. And here.
Present. Hey, we got a form.
Mr. Chair, can I ask you to strike June 7th minutes from the agenda?
Strike what ones? June 7th minutes for the agenda.
If you notice, we covered those in the June 8th meeting.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you very much. Any other corrections to the agenda?
So you want me to do something?
Well, because we already approved.
Oh,
I have something on the Parks and Rec. Somehow I didn't remove the approval of the budget for Go Day. We don't need to approve another budget for Go Day. That should be taken off.
Where is this?
That's on the agenda, yes.
budget for Go Day, we set up.
Yes. That's all I need.
I don't think, for the missing member, we have to adjust them.
We're not adjusting.
We're not-
No, I'm not adding anything.
Okay, so you can take off and not. I should remember it. Any corrections at all.
That work?
Work?
Dan?
Yes.
Any questions? All in favor, aye? Opposed, nay? Motion carries, 4-1 absent. Okay. 3 minutes. We approved, took the June 7 minutes off, then I need a motion to approve June 8, regular meeting, June 21st special meeting, and then the finance meeting on July 12th. Need a motion to put it on the table?
I'll make a motion.
Asking for support. Are there any questions on the minutes?
Oh, in a minute, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
The finance meeting, why does all of this be signed?
I hold it belongs in the general.
Is it in the general or is it in the water?
No, it's in the general. I just.
Put it down on the water.
Yeah, I got it wrong, and then I didn't have the end count.
This needs to be corrected there.
The big piece of underwater sewer needs to go. up.
Dan, did you have something?
I do, when we met to, I just want an opinion for the board. We motioned, we had 3 different motions to make a change in the salary for stormwater maintenance. We also had motion and vote to bring Jesse up. Those never came about, but we still have them in minutes of voted there. Do we want to retract any of those motions, those votes?
We're gonna have a special meeting.
Yeah, if it was at the special, let me see if I can find the one. The problem being that we leave those in the records, and it's gonna look like we actually went forward with those actions.
Was it at a chat?
No, the special meeting.
I think it's a special,
It's the special meeting.
let me find it. We just one of the ones we're doing.
Mhm.
It's only one special meeting.
Right.
If this week, that's the other one.
Basically for the water operator, we decided whether we could split the water operator off from maintenance and move just into maintenance position.
Right, yeah.
And that person
Isn't
is-
that what? it's June
So we
7th?
did not do that.
Is it the 7th?
Yeah, we're gonna just set aside.
Maybe it is the 7th.
That's where we talked about all that.
Yeah, I think, yeah. When you see the motions and the votes, they feel the back. The only concern is just leaving those hanging out there if they're not happening.
Didn't have somebody in there saying that we're not gonna do that until
then that would be in the 8th, right? Or would it be in,
Probably need to have a motion, put on the, agenda to address this. And
Can't add anything,
probably motion to rescind.
okay.
but you can't add anything.
Our next opportunity would have been on the 21st meeting, and we didn't retract anything on the 21st. Right, I think. So anyway, if you want to do it another meeting,
We can do it tonight too. Well, no, we can't.
oh yeah, you're right. So we got it on June 7th. Oh, and the third one, the third one is we voted to have infrastructure play a role. So we actually got 3 motions that didn't occur. 3 votes.
Yeah, that's all on this.
Yeah, so it was 7.
Stuff.
So that, when you ask for a question on the minutes, I just want to point out that we probably want to take those out of the system. So eventually,
Well, we send the action. You're not changing the minutes. The minutes stand. Right. But the action we take can override the action we.
Right.
No, you don't change the minutes.
No. so we'll do that at another meeting.
Well, I don't have my red list with me, but I think that at a special meeting, we can't act when it's gonna go for one man down.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So we could add this to the
That's
agenda.
true. You're right. Okay. Then, if the board was allowed to add it to the agenda, that we retract those 3 votes that we took, June 7th.
Let's take in, after we approve these minutes, then, we'll do that. We already have a motion on the floor. Is there anything else?
I think that, all I had for the minutes. Except on June 8th minutes, we have, that we down at the bottom here, we voted for some zoning ordinance that came from the planning commission. Yeah, on the back, sort of down where it says ongoing business. I just need to be placed in the minutes. What ordinances we voted? That's how we keep track.
Oh. Yeah, it should stay.
I believe. It's going to be the redoing of the rezoning, I think it's going to be, and mixed use development. I can get with the captain, say what I got. I think it's the rezoning and it's the mixed use. That's all I have.
Okay. All in favor, aye. Opposed, nay. One absent. Okay, now, we have a motion to add to the agenda. Minutes. Yes.
Report?
We'll put that under ongoing business. sir? Here, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, nay? So, payable. Start with the general fund account. I need a motion to approve $65,841.91. Williams, is your report. Catherine Young. Are there any questions on the general fund?
First page, miscellaneous expenses, David, Advertisement.
Agree with the miscellaneous.
He was about to set the voting.
I'll go there. Just, Dave McCall, he's on the first page and the second page. He's been paid twice. He got two separate bills. Did he do a special? He got a,
No, he didn't get paid last.
oh, okay, so it was a miss. Okay. We got a, same thing for Dave. Biden. Mario, he got two, did he miss? He got two payments. 649, we got a 347. One was on the first.
He can take one and I take one, so I'll have to go back and take the vote.
Okay.
Miscellaneous expense, that was to me, that was for postage. I had to overnight a letter.
Yeah, I had seen that earlier. Okay, so the last one is Dornbus signs. Do they have two bills this month?
Yes.
Okay. I'm good there. Thank you.
General fund is off by $160. Questions on the general fund? Roll call, please.
Kelly? Pat? Ernie?
Yes. Motion carries 4-1 absent. Next, we have the fire department. Any motion to approve $3,988.60. That was your support. Dan Bowser. Any questions on the fire fund? Please.
Ian? Pat?
Yes. Motion carried 4-1 absent. Water, water and sewer. Need a motion to approve $3,773.68.
Make that motion.
That was to support. Support. Dan Bowser. Questions on sewer water? Roll call, please.
Ian? Pat? Yes.
Yes, motion carries. And refuge fund. Need a motion to approve $12,071.57. Dan Bowser, is there support? No. Any questions on the refuge account? Roll call, please.
Kelly? Ian? Pat?
Yes. Motion carried. 4-1 absent.
Budget 910, 743, 13. Fire fund 217, 17. Metro account, 122, 766, 13. Or 32. I was just thinking, did we get a bill from Miracle yet?
No, if they haven't finished that. No.
Okay, revenue is about 144, 419, 20. West Shore General Savings, 20,964, the 12-month CD at preferred, 38, 447, 37. West Shore Fire Savings, 39, 756, 68. The water sewer preferred, 12-month CD, 6, 905. It's 55, 946. Our balance is 26, 518. 59. The tax account is 3,328.21, and the fire assessment balance is 869. Yeah.
Questions for the treasurer? Thank you very much. Next up is public comments. Everybody has up to 3 minutes. And yes, ma'am.
Will you stand or can I?
What's that?
Will you stand or can I sit?
You can say.
Okay, we haven't gotten to it yet, but I was questioning or interested in information on the personnel committee. Is it going to be in-house or we're going to form a new personnel committee or?
What we're going to do is form a new committee, because we also have a road improvement committee too. We created 2 committees. We want 3 people from the citizens in the area, and we want 2 board members. So, number of 5 members.
Okay, so, how many on the personnel?
5.
You want 5 people from our township on personnel?
Yes.
Okay.
2 board members and 3 citizens.
Okay. And the other one was what? What other committee?
Road improvement,
Oh, okay, so will that be people like us?
again, set up the same way. 3 citizens, and 2 board members.
Okay, and you will advertise these positions?
Yes.
Okay, so that means we'll be able to interview if you're interested,
Yes.
so forth and so on. Okay, do we have anyone again with the cemetery? What are we doing? Do we have anyone at the cemetery? A young lady is helping me, but I haven't seen her for a few months. I still haven't buried my mother, okay? And I still got Fred sitting in the closet. So, like, I really need to get on the ball with you guys and get this stuff done. So, a young lady was helping me, and then I called a guy, remember, I forgot his name, we went to school with him. Yeah, Bill Gent, with the gent, one of the gents, and he told me to go to Reed City. I went to Reed City. That guy told me he was going to call Bill, because Bill knew what was going on at the cemetery, and I still haven't gotten any place. So if you guys can help me kind of find that place or have someone, would you call me and then you can help me get this done before winter comes? I would appreciate it.
I'll have Nikki call you on Monday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a
Carol?
question. What was $500 from the arts fund for?
That's for the payment to the, yes, regarding what we spent our money.
And why is that?
It just needs now. It's on ARPA. Everything we spent with ARPA is on that form. If you'd like to see that, I can show it.
Anybody else? Yes, please.
I'd like to talk about these attorney loans from the village. Dan?
Yes.
this month's meeting. He asked at the annual meeting on June 30th that these letters that you all received, be put on the agenda.
Okay. Wasn't for today, Nick?
Yeah.
That's okay, we can tell them.
Okay, let's talk about it. What's going on?
Sam, you've got the answers. What happened?
Okay, I have one question. Did Eagle come out and test?
No.
Please, okay. So. Go ahead, talk about.
Okay, I'll explain to you what all happened, how it all transpired. So we were contacted by Smith Dumpsters, and it was sometime probably in January, I think. I can't say the date exactly, because I'm not sure. From there, I said, hey, I don't know if we can take this stuff. I'll contact the state. I talked to Derek Simmons. He said, yep, it's a gray area. Don't worry about it. You guys can do that. He said, the only thing that really matters is if the wastewater treatment plant can accept the extra loading. So we went up there, sampled the material that they had, and it was lower than normal wastewater, with the exception of phosphorus. Phosphorus was slightly higher, but they weren't concerned about that. So then I came back and said, okay, all right, we gotta, this is good here. The state says it's good. So what do we gotta do? That's when we did the resolution. And then after the resolution was passed, they were allowed to start dumping. So
In
then
January of 2023.
January of 2021 is when it was initially brought up.
When
I don't
did they
think,
start dumping?
so the resolution wasn't passed, I think, until May sometime. Do you have that with you, Ernie? So it was sometime after the resolution was passed, and I don't know the specific date, but it was,
What year?
I believe, 21. Could have been 21, 22, I don't really know when they
We
started.
started building in 21.
Okay.
Not sure.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, February 18th, 2021.
February 18th, okay, so that's,
Resolution was adopted. Motion was made by Dan Stone to adopt, supported by Nicole. Passed, 4 yeses and 1 abstain, absent. Pat is absent.
okay, then from there, I guess I'll just move right along. Once we got the letter from the village attorneys, I tried to contact Derek Simmons. He didn't answer. I was directed to Claire Handley. She's the new environmental quality analyst for this area. She's the one who oversees discharge of any kind of waste and regulates sewer. Talked to her, told her what the situation was, how it all arose, that Derek said that it was fine that we did that. And she advised me at that point that Derek was incorrect and that we cannot accept that. So I asked her what the follow-up would be on this. She said, you need to stop taking this. All right, we already have. So that's pretty much where that was left. And that was on, I talked to her on May 22nd of this year, 23.
We received a letter from the village attorney, we stopped.
But it was always illegal.
What's that?
It was always illegal to dump.
Yep.
Well, at that
And the
time.
eyewitness that we have, I'm gonna quote him. Ron, well, this eyewitness is dumping. Ron told him, we have done this before, we were not supposed to do it, don't say anything. And he said that twice.
Ron was never advised that he wasn't
Said
supposed
that
to do
Ron
anything.
explained that Unifor puts additional chemicals on their plants to grow.
That resolution, do you have the
Phosphorus
resolution?
is annoying.
That's what we're saying, that we can take, this was drafted by the attorney. Say is, whereas River Township maintains water, wastewater system lines within its reducible boundaries that are connected to the village wastewater treatment facility, whereas River Township may have a need for a third-party wastewater hauler to deposit wastewater into the township's water line for treatment through the village wastewater treatment. And whereas the township authorizes accepting wastewater from third-party haulers on certain township properties as authorized by state, federal, applicable, state, federal, and local rules, laws, and regulations.
See, now, that part you just read, you are in the applicable state grants and rules. We didn't get a chance to hear those as a board to say okay to that. We didn't get a chance to hear them. That Kenny Smith didn't introduce those rules, those what was in the product and all that. One of the problems that I hear now is that we made a resolution to allow for it. Yes. But we didn't go on to allow anyone to do it. We just made a rule saying that, yes, we'll allow it. But they needed to come to us and tell us what they had. We didn't get the details, so that's where some of the problem is. The details never came to the board. So we could say, yes, you could dump, you could dump. That's where some of the problem lies. So that's why it kind of took some of us by surprise. Because, yeah, we said, we'll make a law that says it can be done. But nobody came to us and said, hey, I'm going to do it, and this is how much, and this is who's going to haul it. So we don't have that in the minute, and nobody came to the meeting and said, I'm the one that's going to haul it.
I was only that with a price that you have a price list of what it costs.
Well, we may have been able to, where it's been to us, and they've been able to detect what EO was detecting. And we would have had some questions. Right. We would have had some questions.
If it was, as was had his way, we would be fine, and things would be under the thumb. Eagle has said what, Sam? We're not being fined.
I haven't heard anything yet. I don't know what he was gonna do. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to speak with Claire today. I tried giving her a call to clarify on that. It's water. It's water that has a little bit of fertilizer in it. There's no herbicides in it, no pesticides in it. Phosphorus is normal fertilizer. It's, like I said, the loading is high, but not high where the wastewater plant couldn't handle it. It's not an issue. It's 1,000 gallons every 3 months, 4 months, something like that. It's really not a big deal as far as hazardous stuff. I mean, it's on the lawn, really, but the state has classified it in a certain way that doesn't allow for us to dump that. Like I said, we were told one thing, and that was incorrect. And so Derek Simmons was the old environmental quality analyst for the area. He's no longer there. I don't know where Derek is. So I tried reaching out to him, but I kind of want to clarify and say, hey, you know, you gave me some bad information here that we ran with, and that's where we're at. But as far as what the state classifies it as, I can't tell you one way or the other because I haven't spoken to the person. I won't speak to it.
The only other thing that what I understand is once it leaves the facility, it's industrial waste. Approved haulers. Right. So, you know, so I guess what I'm wondering is, even though we said yes to that, somebody still had to come to us and show us that they're legal to do it, that we're able to take whatever they're hauling. So we would have had questions. We would need answers to see, and then we may have been able to find out earlier that it wasn't correct stuff to dump in our system.
Well, the problem fact basically is that because it's marijuana connected, the marijuana rules are so strict that it's getting to that point now where you have to document everything, and we don't have any documentation.
Well, we should have had that started in 2021 when they started dumping. That's how strict marijuana rules have been. They haven't changed.
Well, it's that point, and one of the main points is that the parties that were dumping and sending the waste out didn't come in for us to research what they were asking for. So it just kind of happened, you know. So we didn't get a chance to weigh in on it and see if it was legitimate stuff or not.
And the fact, I'm my 3 minutes, everybody else was talking. And the fact that the attorneys, the village attorney had to tell me to stop dumping. That's serious.
Ruth, in
Because
case
they
you
didn't
don't,
know it was coming down the line, the sewer line.
So you were under the impression that you were.
Impression, did you talk to the village president personally? Why not?
Sam, how did the village know that this was happening?
I don't know that the administration there knew at all that it was happening, but the wastewater plant was aware of it. Whether they spoke with their supervisors about it, I don't know.
Infrastructure runs the village.
They run the wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why wasn't the village president notified that this was coming on down the line? Now they can't test it, they don't know how much, because those water tanks that were left over there by the old fire barn, when Smith came over to suck it out of Canada, they were there all the time, it leaves a green film. So you can't tell me it's not liquid industrial waste, hazardous waste.
The green film in there is algae. It's growing. It's inside the water.
Who authorized you to open the gate to dump it in there?
Who authorized you to lift off the man cover so they could dump? Because you were there every time. You had to unlock it.
Someone had to open it. I guess I don't understand your question. It's should be pretty self-explanatory. It's ours.
Well, Lansing knows about it too.
Indeed, I informed them as well.
Yes, no problem. Yes. You told me.
Are you aware that Smith isn't a licensed industrial waste hauler? Were you aware of that? No, you paid him, paid you to dump it in. You're not aware of it. Did you ask? What? Did you ask? And then how did you come about $100? Hang on. Check with farmers, see what they would charge you for this. Do your due diligence and do that. No. You think they would do it for $100? You saying? I don't know, you think they would do it for $100?
No.
Probably not.
I think this is.
So
all-
again, the township, giving it the ass, because you guys aren't doing your due diligence. Plus the fact that you're dealing with an unlicensed person that follows. I see on your agenda that you're gonna get bids, advertisement for waste treatment. Solicitation. I hope the hell you don't get bids from him. You've already done dirty business. I think that's what's so big about this. I'm looking at the, Upper Township Federal bills. I'm looking down there at the bottom. I see $160.93 expensive thing. And what is it? Where did it come from? What's going on?
That's the reconciliation. We're off by $160.91. We have been off since the auditors, we were okay with the auditors came. And then when they made their adjustments, since then, I've been off.
So where does this go up?
What do you mean, where is it?
Where is this added in?
It's not added in, it's just subtracted, it's just sitting there, it's not matching. It's not reconciled with the bank. Until we have our audit in October, it will be correct.
So that's $1,160.
$160.93.
That's a plus, not a minus.
That's a plus, yes.
Said it was minus.
John?
Remember a couple years ago, I don't know, maybe it's changed or they got it checked out by an engineer. Daryl's got that old laundromat out there, and that caught on fire, oil fire, and that building was condemned. Everybody was new steel in there, close all that stuff in there, he got, supposed to work and have to move from there. There's a gap there about 4, maybe 6 feet wide of steel that he put up, but it was 3/4 of that whole west side was exposed. Put steel up there, now it's then an engineer and see if that steel saves the whole weight. Part of the court order.
Any kind of deal?
Part of the court order to put steel up. You either abate or repair. How can you repair something that you can? We've got to get an engineer in here to see if that sand is structurally sound. Exactly. So if there ain't been an engineer in here, how's he put steel up? Well, you guys should know that. It should be, because he's got to have a permit to build, so they have to come and see Chris. And the county gave him a permit to build. The county did. Yes. Did Chris give him one? Yes. Did he bring in an engineer saying that building was structurally sound? Chris, to bring in the engineer. I did not talk about Chris, I'm talking about Gary. The county does the structure. Yes, so they require the engineer. So he got engineer drawings done by God and backed by the engineer that you guys permit. If he didn't, then he wouldn't get his permit. That I'm not understanding. That building was condemned because of the fire. I'm just saying, the building was condemned because of the fire. How can the county, I condemn that building to let them rebuild it? If they condemn most buildings, you gotta tear it down. No, you don't. You have to remove the damage. Remove the these old windows. Boarded up. All right, I did that.
So you're saying the building department gave him a building permit
Yes.
to build onto that structure, correct? Correct. I'll go home and ask my husband.
Yes. But no, there's been any investigation or 37th Street. 32nd Street, 32nd Street Road. Yeah, somebody ought to go out and take a look at that. Someone probably right across the street from the prison. That corner, cutting off the back corner where you come down the dog track and then.
What commission does there?
No.
Is it gravel?
It's dirt construction.
Right.
Right across from the prison. There's mountains. Are you talking in the back? The crushing concrete. No, all right. The construction company bought that and they crush concrete in there and they do sell it towards the roof.
Gerber Construction is what it is.
That's
Gerber
Gerber.
Construction.
Where that's an issue. That's not mine. We bought it from the soil, industrial, and don't.
I don't think they're excavating back there. They're hauling in concrete from jobs that have been demoed or whatever, and then they're running it through a crusher and crushing it up into powder. But they're not excavating it.
I'm back to the same old stuff. Several months ago, we were covering the question on insurance. Insurance, and the board had said that they would be getting back to us on that. Whether elected officials or just employees of Weber Township could join it. I haven't heard anything else about that. Could you enlighten me on that subject once more? I have another question in regards to the expungement. Was that ever repaid? That's a personal matter. Somebody needs a record expunged. Why would the township need a record expunged? We're government. Okay, so like that question is still lurking out there. On workman's, excuse me? You've avoided it. Next question is Marco's workman's comp case. We had an issue. I was told by the clerk that the medical bill was repaid, but the town, the ambulance bill has not been at that point in time. So if you'd be so kind and enlighten me on those three right quick, I'd appreciate it. Please try not to avoid the questions.
If I can get them to answer the phone, I will find out why they charged when they did not do anything. They didn't transport him. I don't know why they charged that.
Yeah,
But I can't get anybody.
okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
And in regards to the expungement,
There was never an expungement.
okay, the conversation was on the attorney's bill regarding the expungement.
They write down everything they do, but we were not charged for that. He was courthouse with Chris on one of the violation tickets. He stopped and asked a question, that was it. But it was something he did, so it was put on the bill.
And the last one, in regards to the insurance, what sort of consensus have you gotten
Never heard of it.
about the insurance? Whether you guys decided to allow all of Weber employees or just the elected officials to be able to join? Ernie?
We never made a decision on it. Who cares what insurance I am paid for myself? Who cares?
That's a personal thing.
No,
It's
it's really not personal. The
It
lawyers-
is personal. I'm paying
it's
for
her
it.
own policy. It's not anything that even matches what they've got.
It's not a personal issue. The lawyer stated, if someone joins township insurance policy, you have to be in agreement by vote or resolution. They can't just join. It has to be the board decides who can join and what. So no one could just jump on. It has to be important. You're the employer. People can't just jump on your insurance. This is from the lawyer. Now, this is not. And it doesn't, even if you pay for it, you still have to get a decision by resolution that the board says, yes, we're going to let. employees.
Is this something you would like to do down the road?
Well,
Let's do it now. We can do it now.
Well, the thing is, we were supposed to leave and hash out who and this, that, we just never came back and done.
We need to do that, get that final.
I don't know how much, I don't know what the board has to do with a person.
It's not her.
It's nothing, it's not our business what kind of insurance.
No,
It is when you're the employer.
it's not that part, that we're the employer. Somebody added to our insurance policy. You're supposed to know about it and agree to it. I would have put that too.
Me too. Hell yeah.
But you don't have payroll deductions. So you
Well, we'll come in and make monthly payments.
can pay them.
We will address this at another time. I have
Let's
made a
get,
note.
let's get, clarity in here also to explain that this is something that happens.
We'll
Not
have to
something that
we'll have to
happens.
address this through resolution.
Okay, my last question, talking about things that happen, just always just happening, you do it. You and Pat were the only two that signed to change Angel's lien from the tax roll to her property. This never came before the board. I think you lacked Angel's property bill for cleanup. Remember Angel Williams? And it was just you two that signed for it. This never came before the board. I do believe that's out of protocol. This should have come before the board and a resolution should have been made with the entire group. You're going up there and representing Weber Township as if you two are the only board. I don't feel that that is just.
Isn't that our signatures were on? We are the only people that are about to sign that deed.
That's fine, but you never brought it out in a meeting. You never brought it before the public. You did everything else to Angels. No, 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 no. No, it's my 3 minutes. Excuse me. It's my 3 minutes. You never brought it before the board to get it done before you did it. And you do that all the time, don't you?
I didn't bring any of the links that I put on. There's several links out there.
Yeah, and you did the ones for the tax roll, but you didn't do it when you switched it to her property. That's enough. Thank you.
Daryl's already on June 12th, and she still have not, Amber, she's already spoken.
Everybody else who hasn't spoken. Department reports. Our department chief, what do you got?
We had 16 calls last month, 12 in Weber, 1 in Peacock, 1 in Yates, and 1 in Township. Don't have anything other than that. I can read them all off, but they weren't there. That's all I have is the report. So, you guys have anything? Yeah, it's quite a month.
Thank you. Okay, sewer, water, and heat.
So, water's been pretty interesting the last month. Month of June, we pumped 626,000 gallons. Good. I was concerned that we potentially had a leak. Verified through meters that we did not have a leak, and that the prison is absorbing the majority of that. The other portion is for sprinklers on the line here. So the consumer confidence reports have gone out. I have a quote for the F-250 to get the AC pump replaced and the PVAP canister vent solenoid replaced. That's a total of $1,796.16. The original quote was just about $2,900, but that included brakes. But we just did the brakes in-house, or doing the brakes in-house. It'd be substantially cheaper that way.
The engine light was a problem kept coming on.
Yep, yeah, the engine light was on, and that was the EVAP canister vent, and then the AC pump. That's why I had to wait. So I need that loaded up to prove that if we can. The $1,796.16. Beyond that, yesterday, when I did my morning inspection on well 1, noticed that the motor's leaking oil. I called Northern. Northern was going to come up today, but due to the flooding that they had in Lansing, they weren't able to come up today. But they're going to bring us up a motor loaner for the time being until we can figure out what exactly is going on with our motor. And then they'll send us a quote to repair that.
You know how much that's gonna be?
I have no idea. No, John couldn't even ballpark me. But I know that they have to bring a crane up to pull this motor to set the new one, and then that motor will get hauled down to the facility to get looked at. Right now, I filled the tower up because we're running on just a couple small wells right now. So I filled that for some fire suppression. And it's also good because I have some flushing to do with the hydrants and mains anyways. Waiting for a vacuum sample to come back for well 1 so I can throw that in rotation as well. That's all I have.
So, we need a motion then to approve the repair work to be done on the job. 250.
Pardon me?
What was that? That's 1,700?
Yep, $1,796.
What was that for though?
That is to replace the air conditioning pump in the evap canister vent cylinder.
Oh, on the truck.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, they were gonna replace the brakes too, but it was a little bit over $1,000 for them to do that, so there's really no sense in paying that when we can do that. Correct.
Any further discussion? Please.
Dan,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Kathy, yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
All I have. Any questions for me?
We said wrong before, we don't know what that's gonna cost us yet. We don't try to get it done.
Yep, yeah, we have to get that done. That's our.
Well, number four.
4. Yep, well, number 4. So ball number 1 is going back into rotation.
I'm just lucky that, the prison's not open right now.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't know how long it ran, after it started leaking. It was checked at about 2 o'clock on the day before. Yesterday morning, it was thought that it was leaking oil, but it wasn't leaking oil the day before, so that's good. And it's right at the minimum mark. It's not even, below it like it was running out or anything, so. Hopefully, we don't have too many, major problems with it, so it could just be as much as the seal. But hard to say.
Okay, road commissioner. All right, Leroy.
We did a test on 32nd Street. Pick up the jigs. We ditched it, played it, put the gravel. And we got 3 different spots, in 1,600 feet. This regular line, we put in all the townships. We did 2,000 feet from design. It's a stride. What happens is it's supposed to bind everything together. And then the last 1,600 feet, we did line from down. It's kind of like a couple of valves, really hot, like 30%. We did that to kind of see which one's going to hold up. So that way, if anybody asks, that's what those little flags are out there. That's the test. See how. We understand that was a really bad road out there. They did some good testing. We did, we paved 16th Street, Maryville from 16th Street to 24th, 24th, 32nd. So all you guys know, Township did pay for that.
Right, because once we approve the road, you guys maintain it, correct?
It wasn't really maintenance, it was repair. It was, the part from 16th Street to 24th was really bad. It was crumbling. We kept dirt patching. We do everything we could. It was chip seal. And down towards the end, when you get close to the 16th, you got the slump in there. It just wasn't. So what we do is how we pick, and what we do is we got a form on the east side, a form on the west side. They both got each got 8 townships. They all go through each township. They pick the road, the blacktop that's the worst. They come back, 8, they narrow it down to the worst one on their side, on the west side, worst one on the east side. This one is the worst one between those 2. This one.
Looks very good. I see it wired too.
Yeah, what happened is that we had the grader go out, they peeled some of that because Reeve Riley, their machine, they can only go down to like 10'6". So we had to go a little bit wider because they machine would go down. So everybody, we paid for it. Same thing years ago with that.
What are we looking at now for the chicken seal?
If the weather holds up, it'll be either Wednesday or Thursday, and we'll do the other part of there.
This coming week?
What's that?
This coming week?
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday, if the weather holds up.
Will they have to regrade that because it's getting to be washed?
Yeah, they graded today, but they'll have to go back and do it. We don't want to grade it and put brine on there, because if you put brine lock it in, it's not gonna let the fireman in motion. So
And we'll be working with them to pick roads too. So one of the committees that will be, yeah, we'll be contacting the roads.
you got any questions?
I'll make sure we get the right ones.
County Commissioner, Mr. Foster, do you have something for us?
Yeah, hello, everybody. I'm Bob Sanders today. He's in Savannah, Georgia, for a much deserved vacation. So he asked me to come in. Yesterday, county commissioners, they signed the resolution, resolution 2023-15, pledging support for reusing the TRB facility here on the site. Okay, the commission, they authorized MDHHS, that's Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, to utilize the grant in collaboration with Spectrum Human Services to operate it. Cost was like $12 million, and it's going to house 30 to 40 juveniles. To the area. Stay tuned for that. Okay, in the wider area of the health department, District 10 out of Cadillac, last month. Dr. Jennifer Morrison, MD, she's the medical director there. She has some information about viruses and diseases. She stated that prior to vaccinations, people getting vaccinations were slowly creeping up until 2001. From 2001 until 2019, until the pandemic, and that many parents were more reluctant to get vaccines, and all the childhood vaccinations. Like measles and mumps, they too, they're getting less and less because of COVID vaccination scare. And she went on to say that such a subject, but that because of vaccination deniers, changing information about research and development, and media platforms, that many people were hesitant to get vaccination, all vaccinations, not just the COVID-19. She stated that it was divided primarily between Democrats and Republicans. She said a real touching that generally Republicans were getting the disease at a higher rate because of their different signs. She said vaccines should not be political because it doesn't care. That's not that. The ORV park, located at 23, roughly 2376 and 37. They're getting an upgrade, new boards on the pavilion structure. I believe it's in run. They're getting electricity, standing paint, lights, some cameras, and several grills. Okay. So that's going to come. Then finally, what I had here was Michigan Department of Transportation out of Cadillac. And a guy by the name of Robert Johnson, West Michigan Shoreline Regional Development Commission. He and I walked the streets of Baldwin down here last month, talked to a lot of the shop owners. The purpose was to try to see what we can do with the traffic involved. Now, for years, they had street light at US 10 and 37. It's been like a stalemate. What we're trying to do is perhaps make a suggestion as to how we can get people across the street. Michigan Avenue and 7th Street. They got some state bank in Western. We're interested in Pathfinder on the east and where the treasures on the west. We're interested in trying to see if we can get a post with a manual button that can slow the traffic down. There are sidewalk, there are the lines there going east to west. With those corners to the bank, to Jones, but to me, those are just zones where you line up to get killed because there's nothing telling you that's telling the traffic to slow down. You just line up there. You're at your own risk. He has suggested that narrowing the streets might serve to slow it down because on each side of the street, on Michigan Avenue, there's like 10 extra feet. You see the street that wide. You would see that in the city, 79,000 people. And it's a very large traffic coming down from the north on the hill here, coming from the airport, from the south. You're cruising at a good clip. Nothing slows them down. We do have some trailers that regulate the speed, and that's helping the great report out. Sure, probably. Even around about, there's enough space. And one of the city leaders said there was not enough space around them, it was 1037. But that keeps the traffic flowing. That's it. Rather than just have to wait, taking the chances. That's about all I have here. That meeting was set up in, I don't know exactly what it's gonna be. We've got to have an on-site meeting to see what we can actually do. So people can cross the street. Because the town is doing that for growing. I think it's important that elderly, this part, be able to get across the street without getting hit. Somebody brought up the question that, hey, how many accidents have you had? How many? And I said, hey, that's not really an issue right now. We don't want to witness somebody get killed. But the thing is this, a lot of people don't get killed because they're not going to try to cross the street. When you don't try to cross the street, you're not going to get your ice cream. You're not going to go to the Chewy's or some of these places. It's just going to stagnate commerce in one sense. That's all I really question.
I go to town, the lady works that bus. Put a push button in there to save somebody's life. What about the rednecks or the guys that jaywalk from the bar, that park by the bar, tough, walk right in the middle of the street, don't use the walkway.
That's the big point.
I mean, that
You're right.
that's a point that's gotta be covered.
I said it myself. Listen, you can't live in Walden for any period of time without breaking the law, no matter how good a citizen you think you are, because every time you cross the street, you're actually breaking the law. Because at least if you went to the corner, you would turn, but maybe they won't anyway, but at least the people who want to go across the street in a legal way, just slow the traffic down.
I have a second question, or not second, an answer to your question. Yeah, and you're saying,
gotta work the rest of my life.
You want to try it on the road here?
You got me on that one. I don't wanna be you. but, Yes,
I would recommend the turnabout. The idea being that traffic's gonna slow down, number one. And as you come out of it, you're going to be accelerating. You won't be going anywhere near as fast had you just come off 37 and shot straight down. I would recommend a turnaround.
they have one all the way down here by M23.
Mhm.
You go down to Grants.
Yeah, that's a nice
That
one.
Soviet area. I like keeping those, because the traffic don't stop.
No,
And then you have the lights here, it can be very,
annoying.
it's annoying and you would take a chance and do something.
But if you do the turnaround, the turnabout,
But
you've got time for people to get down there to the ice cream, to the Wesco.
Yeah.
And they can cross because the traffic slowed way down.
You mean, roundabout right there at Westport, you don't mean there, you mean up at the light.
Yep.
Yeah, to answer that, DOT's already determined there's not enough room for a roundabout.
You might have
At the
enough-
Shell station.
Darn it.
Okay, you come through with a 40-foot fifth wheel and see what you wanna do with that little bit of space on the roundabout.
Right.
Or the
True.
semi truck. How many of them come through all the time?
Oh, that would have been nice to see.
Look what they're going in Claire, it wasn't there 2 days, semis already had all guardrail rails around it there, stopping in the clear there. Yeah, they already crashed.
There's more.
Not that I'm blowing your, the turnaround, I happen to think that just some old people kill themselves, okay, getting confused about which way to go, okay? That's what I think, but actually, I think that maybe you could use the money for something else, because I don't think it's enough room in that corner to put something like that.
That's what the gentleman was saying.
It's not even.
And that's not enough room there, you're right about that. Unless you find some- But in the middle of the street, there's a button you can push and this, they work pretty well and it flashes and the cars know coming up and hey, the temperatures are going to go off. But there's a lot of different ideas. We just have to.
Well, in the winter, you have two cars, I've gone through Baldwin and Winter Hall, and there's two cars on the side. So I don't think that, yeah, you have two cars parked on Baldwin in the street, on the streets, two people in town. In the winter time, sometimes three. So I just think that if we're gonna have state dollars that you would generate and do something, maybe pave some streets or do something else with that money.
Thank you, Gordon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mark is here, okay?
Had a comment about that intersection. Traffic, speed trailers, after he might steal Baldwin. And then I'll talk with next week about 40 miles an hour speed limit, and if I just slow down, we have to do it or not, people will try to get the highest number, right? 85, just, I'm not gonna get all the figures that I talked about that before, but 85% of people that look at face now are at the speed. So they are affected. And then, we are applying, Sheriff's Office applying for a grant to the Office of Safety and Hazard Planning. And we're expecting to, we were expecting to get it to be about a $200,000 grant, which would enable us more traffic speed. And we're also going to get laser as well that actually have a picture of the person speeding in the vehicle and exactly how fast they're going, so it prints out on the ticket. So basically, it'll show you, it'll be an X on the car, it'll show you that's the car. It'll show you pretty much the driver, it'll show you how the speed was at the time, and you can't beat that ticket. So,
Yeah, I was involved in something like that when I was in Phoenix, Arizona. They had speed cameras and all like that. They didn't work right.
well,
We're talking about a major metropolitan area, not.
you
And he removed
How long ago was that?
2011. About 10 years.
We've come a long way with that, you know, it's kind of like the cell phone cameras and cell phone, stuff like that. I was gonna tell you, you're just one upgrade from the VHS camcorder, that sucker right there.
Oh, yeah, that's a cheap camera.
But, I knew what happened.
It's got the others.
But it still works, don't it?
It's got the others.
There you go. Okay. Will that be the front of your car, the city limit, and then your license plate? That I don't get the answer, right? Because if it doesn't your license plate, I don't know if it does both. So I don't want to tell you that exactly. I haven't seen the specs on it yet. Okay. But it does take a picture of the vehicle. Okay. So
That's good.
Yeah.
The license plate registration.
we're working on that. So,
Okay, get that, because that'll be what's important, because.
what's that?
Was one thing I want to say. After we talked about the accuracy and that, I have been doing work on my wife, yeah. So I don't know if you recalibrate it or have done anything. But they seem to be working better now than they did before.
But what it does is so that plus we use it for less advice, not advice together at 9 o'clock.
Maybe I'm crazy, but when I go to Chase and it says, thank you. I don't- I take pride. in
People like
the
positive
fact that
comments. They want, you know, slow down.
Me too.
I'm like, okay, I feel good about myself. Like I said, you better slow down or else probably people are gonna step on it. You know? So I see what you're saying. So, with that being said, any questions about the questions? Just a few things to mention. You guys look at Battle Ride. It's actually starting a busing service on Fridays and Saturdays. And it's not a call ahead service, but they have one route that goes north, all the way to North Junction, and then south, past I think the houses. And they have one that runs from Baldwin all the way to Nelson and area, back to Iowa, back to 2 routes. So it's between 4 and 8 on Fridays and Saturdays. You don't have to call it, you just show up at one of the points and you get on the bus, cost you $1 or $2. They also have a service now on Sundays. They can call by a certain time on Friday. It's operating from 9 to 1 on Sundays. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not, but that's very cool. You guys, we did a legislative ORV ride. That means just about a month ago, what happens is legislators, senators, state representatives, we take them out on the trail. It's a very short ride, from short ride. We start at Peacock and then we go up to the hills. And the reason for that is to show the legislators. But I found out when I was there, it isn't just the legislators, we have the conservation officers, we have people that are in the administration of DNR. The guy who actually is in charge of the trails in Michigan for DNR has never been on a trail. So I thought, well, that made a lot of sense. But, anyway, and there's been some bills that we did talk about increasing law enforcement, part-timers. You guys are still getting my reports. I started something a month ago, bonding report. I wanted everybody to know exactly what we're doing when it comes to that's. So that new list has the names of the offenders on it, what they were charged with. Sometimes they were arrested or lodged, or they had to come and get fingerprinted. Those names would be released. It's a way of checks and balances. People don't work doing their job. Whether the prosecutor does it with it, we don't know. That's good. Some other stuff's going to be coming out next year. But anyway, if you guys see that, if you want to be in my email list, it's a good list to be on. I sent it to the Township fire chiefs. And I just need to send you. The charity drive, we're still working on with the blessed bike shirts, and we now have the trailer that's located at this side of the courthouse, that white trailer, we're working off the
time, put your returnables in there. You can put the glass is not in anything else, so if you have glass, you can put something else. Make sure the bags are tied up when you throw them in, so that shit or stuff isn't actually falling all over the trailer, right? And right now, we have the and we did receive a check from the Chamber of Commerce. The county sheriff's office will be distributing that. That leads me to a couple of projects that I'm working on right now. The first one being bringing recycling to Lake County, and the second one is driver's ed to Lake County. So one thing we were thinking about is everybody wants somewhere to recycle. There really isn't a recycle here in Lake County, except I found out fairly pleasant place does something last Saturday. So if you want to do recycling, you have to leave the county. So my thought was that if I could pay $500 for example, to have take that money out of charity money for can drive and stuff like that, it serves the thought of the purpose. Now, there is some legislation that has changed the way you deal with liquid waste and that type of garbage in the county. And this is something I talked to the county administrator about. Depends on the county side, the municipality side, you're supposed to provide certain services. Pick up the county does. And one of those things, which Lake County is in, eventually they have to have a recycling center. So even if we don't do this project, we do it focusing on Lutheran. There may be one involved in I'm not an expert on that part of it, but administrators can show us legislation. So talk about driver's ed. When you get driver's ed, I mean, I remember when I took driver's ed in high school, I had like 2.3 grade point average, all right, but I got almost an A+ in driver's ed because I wanted my freedom. We did that one semester. Well, now we have to go to cost anywhere from 500 to 700. As we've seen, the kids around here can't afford that. So my idea is that we bring, this is originally my idea, work with the librarian over in Lions Club, is that we want to bring a driver's ed instructor to Lake County. And then if we do that and get signed up for it, then we'll pay for that either grant funding or charity grant. So I mean, the charity grant money is always earmarked priority goes to kid projects. So before I would give it to a kid project, before I would give it to it. And if I could do that, I would see all the charities given to me, pay for tuition, get to attend Blue Lakes youth camp, music, pay for that, and pay it directly to them. Another student got accepted in interlocking whatever for the arts. We paid for that for the charity project. So anything we can do for the kid projects. I would expect we have maybe 2 or 3 a month. That we want to do this thing. So we're working on bringing it to Lake County. If we can't get it to Lake County, then we may actually still pay for the commission if they get it. So that'll be that's an intent. Level 2 class or both. Know that they wait until they're 18, they can go to Secretary of State. And then just go. So, and that's $75 when they book for whoever's got the car. So if you got the car, that'd be another thing. When they want it, when they're 18, they want to take the test. They call whoever it is, but they take your $5 or whatever it is, right that day. But it is. The value is actually the next state conference. Well, logistically, it would be very difficult to do for adults. Okay. The plan is that unfortunately, some of us have already had to do that. I think my kids will do that. I'm looking for 15 to 16. The only reason they're not doing it in 16.
I was just kind of curious because we do have kids that were foster care system. And we found that when our kids maxed out, some of them, the foster parents couldn't afford to give them the money. for kids. So is that something that you maybe qualify for?
I think the way my personal idea is that if they attend, even involved in school, regardless of where they live, or if they live. And probably some who's 15 and 17 years of age. But I think it would be something because, I mean, I would go up and draw it, tires and stuff like that. These kids, you know, they need to learn how to drive, but you know, getting at 18, and that's the time to be able to do that. I mean, they're not even using the practice skills for that you would in a driving program, so I think that's better. That answers your question?
Yes, thank you.
You ever communicate with them state boys? Oh, we had a parade of them going south on Sheridan. There, or is that what it is? What?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. You know, ask that with the texting law.
I'd have to look into it. So yeah, so we do that all the time. But I'll have a state police will come in here and check the service, and I'll go right to the warrant pickup, or they're going to an investigation, they do that, and they come out. Not all, so we would have somebody there, and they communicate. We usually have about 40 hours before I have to do it. Yeah, but sometimes we do like special investigative lesson, you know, we get like deal. Those are the ones that are responding calls from the traffic while we're handling. Oh, yeah, and for a long time we did. So, other than that.
Okay. Next we have, we got grant right around there, but we don't have anybody that's doing that. Only part of that, the only thing I got is that, the start date, we're talking August 1st. So I will not take any, the, Township Park, unless it's irrigation for the month of August. Make sure that you're not interrupted.
They get to the like.
Yeah, the finished completion date is November 30th.
For our part or for the
So,
whole thing?
county and township, yeah. That's all.
Trucks or something.
Yeah, well, that started very soon, otherwise, there's a set $500 a day penalty, but,
That's true.
And if it doesn't, if it's not done.
Right. Well, then there's a point, Mr. Chair, did you retain a copy of that contract?
we haven't got a copy yet, and neither does the county.
You reach out to the first.
I don't have.
Points they don't get, certain points down, but also, did you understand that, the contract in whole said that there was a lump sum payment?
Yeah.
But it also said that, between the township.
We have it all for the site right now.
Okay, so they'll be billing us. It says they're billing, they want to bill us, they want payment every 20 of every month. No, this is the grant contract. Right. So they'll be billing, so you'll be getting a separate bill. I don't get their bills at all, but they said they will pay me. Even though you only have to give them one lump sum at the end. So when you sign that you will give them.
You know, that's only fair, but you need to buy material.
Yeah, but just that we need to know, there's some details we need to know, we really need to read into that and find out what they're looking for.
Okay, that's all I have. Zoning administrator,
I issue 9 land use permits. I issue 10 land use permits, 1 for a billboard, another one for awnings, another one for a pole barn, for a shed, 2 fences and 4 dwellings. The dwelling sizes are 24 by 24, 33 by 50, 32 by 40, another 33 by 50. I also sent out 4 letters, 2 of which were response letters for camping questions. The other 2 are violation letters accompanied with 2 citations. One which was for dump, and the other one was for a camper. I also would like to ask the board, I attached the minutes for when I was hired in, and I would like the board to reconsider not giving me a raise. I was hired in with the understanding that after a year, I would be making a total of $20 an hour. I did some calculations, and that dollar increase raise does have an impact on our finances. Some of you know I just bought a house, so I do have travel that I have to come here every day to do now. Which it's fine, I'm not asking for mileage or anything, but with this, the understanding that I'm gonna have $20 per hour. Makes more sense. I would just like to ask the board to reconsider on their decision. If I can get a vote tonight on whether I can get that hour. Got the minutes of after a year, it's still good.
Talked to Chris about this also. And so there was some talk that we had done this before, numerous times. We got those times. Or we just saying,
I'm going to look at the minutes are right now. Oh, when I got mine, well, similar, yeah.
well, because of the
But I
time,
didn't accept the increase because I was going
for the conversation I was having, was that one of the reasons that now this, I actually, because in these minutes, it doesn't, nothing voted, I guess we reach it sometime earlier. Well, there's nothing voted, that's not.
This is the job description that was laid out in the minutes.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just telling Chris that, I disputed that, probably with the time I voted that way, and so I learned that the way it's written is against our policy, and that's what I was disputing. You shouldn't make a rule that's against your policy. It doesn't make sense to do it, so I've always disputed that, and that's why, like I mentioned to him, I disputed it at this time too, because that's not the way the township policy reads. We can't give a raise at probation. That's not. So I disputed when this went in too. And so that's it. And that was
This was detailed in the minutes, and it was offered to Greg Nichols, Chris Jacobs, and Dawn Summers. It wasn't just Chris that got this.
that had nothing to do with Chris. The statement I was making is this is against the policy. It always has. That was the point. It always has. We went off the rails, and we didn't. So we never should have offered that to anybody.
I agree. We did. And we need to honor this and start fresh. Start with a new policy. That's why we're gonna adopt it.
You don't have a new policy. You got the original policy.
Yeah, there's nothing in the policy about that.
There, exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
And that's 19%
They work for
increase.
free then, basically.
We voted on this to make it a legal document.
Yeah.
We voted on it to make it legal.
No, well, Yeah, I'm just telling you, I did have a conversation with him about it because I told him what my feelings was about it. You know, I'm just saying it's something that never should have been allowed. But it was bad for him to be hired in under those pretenses.
Or anyone.
Yeah. So he was giving the impression that that was the correct way.
Exactly. So here it is a year, and we want to, that's what we voted on.
Well, you give her an equal, but you know, you're gonna make a second wrong because you're not supposed, you weren't supposed to do it the first time.
That's right, two wrongs don't make a right.
So, I mean,
I understand.
so it came up last meeting. And I brought it up, and I actually said the same thing I said before. And I looked at my board members and I said, go ahead and vote. And you guys didn't vote. I asked you to go ahead and vote. So I said, you probably would have to win, but you didn't vote on it.
It was our budget meeting that we talked about it. And we said that we couldn't give them that raise because we didn't have any documentation. Now we have the documentation. So we should be getting.
You didn't say documentation. That's the-
We were gonna look for the minutes, that's what we said. Same thing.
Well, you had a chance to vote regardless of it. That's the point.
Well, voting with no information or lack of information, other than no, or no vote.
We weren't gonna vote till we found the minutes.
It was more than just the minutes, wasn't it? Because it was the second time it was brought up. It was brought up.
We didn't know, we wanted to find out where we said that, and we wanted to find the minutes, we had to look at. We weren't gonna close it out until we found this. If we never found the minutes, we'd still be getting it. Be able to give them raise. We found it, and we voted on it. And this is what he was, thought he was gonna be getting.
So this early statement was, how do you put it?
Erroneous is at best.
Something about we've been doing it incorrectly and, well, we set a precedent.
Yeah. Precedents.
So now, going forward, what do you do? So, because now you want to let, basically one more under the fence and
Well,
you're gonna go back to the correct way to go. How are you gonna handle it? Because
Yeah, precedents was set. For him, when he got his 6-month raise, there were no policies.
this was set back in July 13th, 2022. That's where it was set. And it didn't matter if it was Greg Nichols, Chris Jacobs, or Dawn Summers. They were still offered the same.
we're not, even whoever was offered what, our policy doesn't allow for it. That was the whole point.
Okay.
And it wasn't just this. There's been times in the past, like, matter of fact, before Christmas, Jesse that I disputed that. Our policy doesn't say you can give them that.
Our policy is only one paragraph, but our handbook says something different. That's why we need to redo the handbook and the policy so it agrees with each other.
And it wasn't on the
And then-
agenda.
Then we also have that raises are giving at the annual meeting. So back when we gave the 6 months, that was another mistake. Now we have to give them a raise because it's an annual meeting. That's what the book says.
Yeah, it's a Daniel, that's all it says is Daniel. Yeah.
So therefore, there's his annual.
Well, he got a raise, he got his
6
annual
months
meeting.
ago. We got
Yeah, he got it
the
earlier
mistake.
than he should have. He got it earlier than he should
We
have.
got it at 6 months.
So, I'm okay, I just want to bring that up, but rather than just blow through it, where do we go from here is what I was trying,
Make the correction first.
because this was brought up before that we were out of line. And we kept rolling, and now we rolled again, and we're out of line. And it's like, are we gonna just keep doing that?
I'd say we're not out of line on this one because it's the annual meeting. That we're giving them a raise we were out of line 6 months ago. Not out of line now.
Well, to your point, that would be $19. You'd be at $19.
He would, yeah, he
Yeah.
would be,
He would be at
well,
$19.
no, we would give them up to 20 because of what.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be giving him 19. Because you actually gave him one at 6 months that he
If he
wasn't,
didn't have the 6-month raise, he'd probably be.
he'd be at
going
19.
from 18 to 20.
He'd be at 19.
He'd get 20.
If we promise.
He's got the
back in
certificate that not many
In
zoning
writing.
administrators have.
I'm not gonna
Which
say
is
that's,
well worth a lot of money.
that's relevant, but it's not in here. That certificate's not in here. What I'm saying, that extra, so rather than, he was supposed to get one raise, but he's gonna get 2. He was at 18. So if he would have got just that one, he'd be at 19.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
It'd be
because
whatever
it's
we
in here.
determined it to be, and it would probably be $20 because of the work he's done and the certificate.
Well, that's speculation, but one raise,
I would have voted for $20. So that's not speculation,
Well-
because that's what I would have voted. I would have voted.
You need to fix the wrong first.
so just go forward. Go forward. I'm gonna abstain from that.
They want to make a motion to honor the minutes from July 13, 2022.
I want a 19% raise too.
Matt, is there support? Catherine Young. Roll call, please.
Kelly. Dan. Pat.
Yes.
I have to abstain also.
No, it does not.
Why do you have to abstain? This is Chris is not. He's like, grew up, he raised up.
Okay, you feel that I should have an option to vote?
He has to abstain.
I don't see why not.
You wouldn't,
I think you abstained. You wouldn't be consistent. though. You would be in the last. I think the record shows. That's something you guys. I'm not gonna leave it away.
Okay, so we got 2 votes then.
I think you gotta pass it.
Nope, don't pass.
I think you're gonna have to have, you're like, yeah.
I feel like I don't have a conflict.
I don't feel like we have a conflict.
I do.
You should abstain if you feel that.
That's right.
No, he does, but I mean.
That's on him.
It wasn't an issue.
Thank you. Oh. Oh.
Didn't help you with that electrical pole over there on 44? He was there.
Mhm.
We know, we got pictures.
That wasn't him. That was her son. That was Morningstar's son. I got it.
Great.
It was
I had a
Chris.
picture
We
too.
saw Chris.
No, you did not. I'm sorry, you did not. Yeah, that's all right.
You're, you'd be wise to abstain.
Oh, so,
It's king.
going forward, how are we gonna get this to the personnel committee?
I think in the personnel committee, I think there should be something like if they're hired like 3 months before the annual meeting, then, you know, they'll get a little raise, whatever, but if it's 8 months before the annual meeting, there's gotta be a, like a 9-month, 3-month, there's gotta be a time frame.
Yeah, you
where
shouldn't get a
get something
back-to-back
in 6
raise.
months.
It was, hopefully, first, well, we can give them instructions. It's
Can you, there's, what's going on?
just
What
that
are you here?
when it comes to these personnel things,
We're trying to run a meeting.
Well, just when it comes to personnel things,
Anything else, Chris? No. Any questions? for Chris? Okay, when these houses get done, hold on.
No, it's not public comment, it's this.
You have a question for me? I can address. We have any statistics on how many questions less than what both of them. We don't have that information. We don't. Okay. Planning Commission, Jackie.
Yes, in July's meeting, we, actually, I think at the June meeting, we amended the rustic enforcement cabinet. Kelly had said that last month or not, but that is done. We also amended section 2104, which talks about the non-conformities, allowing manufactured homes may be replaced or that are in better condition. We have a public hearing right now scheduled for August 28th for the nonconformities and the rustic cabin. At our next planning meeting in August, we will be discussing the other ordinance, section 311B, that talks about the 18-foot dwellings in the cabins. We've had a discussion about proper protocol and adding things to public hearings. So that will be brought back up to see whether or not that should be at August public hearing. If not, it will be done in September with some other ordinances that we pass.
What are the non-conformity amendments?
We amended the section 21.04.
Oh, okay,
Talks
so,
about the manufactured housing being replaced.
oh, that's part of non-conformity?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
An upgrade or improvement
Oh,
manufactured house.
what you guys decided about? To allow them to be replaced?
Yes.
If damaged?
Yes.
Oh,
It was reworded. Would you like a copy of this?
oh, so that haven't been through a hearing yet, right?
This is going to public hearing,
Okay.
August 28th.
All right, well, I'll get a copy later.
Okay.
All right. What did you do with the rest of the cabins?
What we did with the rest of the cabins, we just added it to resort. I think that was kind of an oversight when it first happened.
Okay,
So that's all that got on that.
all right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. Lake County Economic Development. Township Parks and Recreation. As of August 1st, I will not take any more reservations. Because we will start construction. I don't know if they'll be working right on through. Like, there are investigations, but we only on Sunday. I don't know how to get this thing done. They have from November 30th to the 1st. One of the number now. But they have to be totally done. That's the whole project. Where in
Should we put something up there saying that? Like, still won't let the kids to play, I mean, at their own risk,
They can't reserve the pavilion.
but they can still use the park,
Yes, can be used.
but to be careful, don't let your kids run around.
We'll probably have to flag off the pavilion. So. Okay. Ongoing business. I put together, based on what the previous contract was. Basically, I've got 9 items on here. One curbside pickup. One 90-gallon cart container, or 2 45-gallon containers, or 3 30-gallon containers, or 3 30 bags, 33 bags, a gallon trash bags. Supply for residents' requests. Scheduled pickup will be consistent each day of the week, except holidays. Service which provided will make available special arrangements for those. Service containers are not accessible by regular pickup. Contract will be a 3-year renewable, and payments will be made monthly on receipt of the invoice from the township. There will be no commercial or industrial businesses, state and federal housing units, commercial housing units, including any dumpsters for residents or commercial uses. Can make available. Waste hauler and provider must be insured up to $1 million auto liability and $7 million in waste material recall, licensed landfill. Anything else that needs to be added to this?
What does that have to do with?
Well, because this is a very limited, I think what we should do as far as resources, we should mail these out to the people that we, waste management.
A lot cheaper to mail.
I don't think
Because
it
when
would
we
work.
advertise something like that on paper, it's gonna be $70 if not more. Never get any response.
I think that we'll do a list of contractors, online, maybe email them to you.
I think you're going to end up doing both, aren't you? Because we have over a certain amount value contract that we have to. So we've always just went to the paper, we never mailed.
We mail less.
Yes.
So
I think we did both last year. We never got it.
so we're going to have to account for the container.
Well, it's gonna, that will be, in the contract. Because I know that, the supplier we have right now, contract is required to give cans to everybody. Not everybody, I don't need one. I'm not gonna, I would not request. Because I have one bag every week. Some people might need that. People they generate one bag of trash. They won't need. But that's on them. If they request one, then they should get it.
So number 4, the service provider makes special arrangements. That's going to be between them and the residents.
That are not accessible by regular pickup. That means that if they can't get a truck down there to load, then they're gonna have to make special arrangements.
So the township's not in it. That's between them and.
Yes.
Did Finstamacher quit?
No, we haven't quit there, no.
Okay, thank you.
I hope you'll.
Contract is up.
Oh.
It's up in November, I believe.
Yeah, well, we should have, the December 1st, I believe, is the day that it's up. So, yes, by the November, we need to have somebody in place.
So,
Renewed.
so we're just, like, we'll mail something like this out, just tell them what we're looking for.
Yes.
So when they come and give a quote, because there's a couple of things here that they're gonna have to tell us what they're gonna do about.
Yes.
Like number 9, tell us more about the charges that they have.
We want fuel charge that we got hit with. Yeah. Want that clear, we want to know that. What other people, base fee, so that we can.
Right. And they're gonna tell us, like your number two, they're gonna pin down which one of those they're gonna provide.
Yes.
All right.
So,
I mean, I'll look
is
at
there
it.
anything else that we need in here?
Well, I'll look at it. You know, look at it over.
Don't think anything else.
Well, what,
I'm looking for approval so we can send this out or email it out with our letterhead. Stating that we're looking for,
well, what did we fall short on besides the fee surcharge? What did we fall short on having in the last?
you know, I know it was the fuel charge. We didn't have a base, to go by.
They all were there. It was there.
Yeah, but
Just we didn't.
it wasn't a current base price.
Yeah.
It's $2.50 a gallon,
It was current.
and that wasn't current. Current would have been,
Well, you, all the same shit for the price.
well, yes, but it shouldn't have been, it should have been the difference between $2.50 and $3.
You know, he was correct. He put it in there. We just didn't.
Where did we see it?
It was in one contract, the next contract there was no number in it.
He left it out of the contract, but he put that in exist. He put that in exist, but where existed was on his itemized.
Right, and he didn't put freight, he didn't get that contract, that was no number.
Right, but he said it exists.
Yeah.
We needed to ask for what the number was.
Yeah, we need to have that.
Well, that would be a negotiation
Right,
thing in the contract. This is what we need to go out.
Well,
Job specification.
yeah, but so that tells us that we need to take a better look at the contract.
Yeah. and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. So I don't know what else to add because what's gonna happen is somebody's gonna make a bid and they're gonna just fill in the blanks. So they're gonna answer number two, or how they're gonna handle the containers. They're gonna answer number 9. Yeah, so.
I'll make a motion to send those. Items out to the- So,
Support.
Any further
The
discussion?
discussion is if we can get a list on who goes to.
Okay. Well, I would say probably close to, if it's due in December, probably at the November meeting. So we should probably look at, probably October.
I look at it like October meeting, because if we decide on somebody, they gotta, and it's not, depends on. They gotta figure out how to get those dumpsters so that there's no transition.
Yes.
So you're gonna officially, you're starting, asking for bids starting. No, you're asking for starting.
Oh, yeah, starting on.
And
Yes.
So that you can do it in the October meeting.
Yes.
September first.
so is that the cutoff date for them
Yes.
To get it here.
to get the bid in? September 30th?
Whatever that Wednesday is. at noon.
All in favor, aye? Okay.
It should be sealed because it's over.
It's over 15,000-20,000. So, well, we don't have a choice. We gotta see it.
Okay, the next one I have is the resolution for the personnel committee. this is the one we talked about, the personnel committee, take care of issues. Whereas Weber Township has had many discussions on determining employee wages, hiring, job descriptions, discipline, employee handbook updates, and other issues with personnel. Whereas Weber Township Board approves creating a volunteer group committee of 5 volunteers to serve on the as an advisory committee to the township board consisting of 3 volunteers from the community and 2 volunteers from the board, township board. Whereas the committee will be known as the Weber Township Personnel Committee. The duties of this committee will be to make suggestions to the township board of personnel and including but not limited to job descriptions, reviews, drafting employee handbooks, disciplinary recommendations, updating the employee policy, wages, pay increases, recommendations, performance evaluations, and other personnel issues suggested by the township board. Will let it be resolved that the township hereby adopts this resolution to create the township personnel committee to assist the township board with personnel issues and policies. We state a standard procedure for all employees of the township. Shall this resolution be adopted? Yes, are there any questions or discussion on this? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion carried. Discussion on the electrical and maintenance. Okay, I know we approved it in the budget, but I wanted to make sure before we put the guy in here to do this, to make sure that prices are still okay. This proposal was for April 5th of 2023. We said that the material has gone up a little bit, so it'll probably be an additional $500 for this proposal. Top of the wire. So he's looking at a bid of $9,655.
So the difference is, we didn't say yes to it last time because we weren't sure which source you were using there.
The source that we have to use is a no-brainer. It would cost us this first price of $2,900 plus $10,000 from the electric company. And we have to upgrade to a 3-phase because we already have 3 meters. 3 meters on this property. The 3rd meter would cost us $10,000 to put in.
So that's what that was.
Plus, yes, plus $2,900 for the phone break.
So this is coming from this.
This is coming from this room right here, underneath, going underground for service, for dam service.
Okay.
Any other further discussion? Roll call, please.
Kelly? Dan?
Yep.
Pat? Yes. Kathy, yes, Karen?
Yes. Okay, the next we have to retract the sewer and water maintenance decision that we made back in June. Special meeting June 7th.
The special meeting of the 7th, right?
Yes, yeah. June 7th, yes. So
I'll motion in reference to June 7th special meeting, the motion to create a salary position of $60,000 per year with certain stipulations. be retracted. That's the correct word.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Kelly. Dan. Yeah.
Yes.
Kathy, yes. Ernie.
Yes, motion carries 4-1 absent. Okay, we got, next on new business, we got election work.
Oh, no, we got
Two more.
two more motions. Our second motion,
Oh,
in relationship to June 7th special meeting. We had motioned and voted to pay infrastructure wastewater, when the water operator is on mandatory training. I rescind that. I motion to rescind that. Vote.
support.
I'll support.
Kathleen. Any discussion? Roll call.
Kelly. Dan.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Kathy, no. Ernie.
Yes.
Third, last motion. In reference to June 7th special meeting, I motion to rescind the vote that makes Jesse Casada maintenance man.
Support.
Yes. I'll support.
Kathleen. Any discussion? None? Roll call, please.
Kelly. Dan.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
Kathy, yes. Ernie.
Yes. Carries 4-1 absent.
And, you know, we come to infrastructure, we still use them. We're not taking away anything, we just take it back. And we put it in place.
Said, yeah, they're still in place.
Right.
We were looking at having them take over.
Right.
Yeah. They don't need to take over, there are backup people already. Okay. And new business. I need a motion to approve the election workers. We're going to have a special election for the school. We need a motion to approve Nikki Hughes, Jackie Jacobs, Pat Williams, and Kathy Young.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Kelly. Dan.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Kathy, yes. Ernie.
Motion carries.
That was a conflict of interest.
The next one, training for treasury and deputy treasurer. You got a copy of the,
Should we have done that? Ernie?
no,
No, should we have done an election?
this is something different.
Oh,
We have.
should we have done that instead? of-
I thought you said deputy.
Should we have done that instead of like the election workers motion? Should we have done that?
Motion for themselves.
Oh, you mean instead of the.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. So that-
I think.
You're just using minimal because it's.
Yeah, I'd be bad.
But it will
But
be
then
on.
now we only have two of them will pass, so then we don't have like.
You would end up voting, I guess. It's probably not gonna be fun work either way. Because you would still end up voting.
So, we got the training, Pat and Jackie. August 1st, Tuesday, August 2nd. Okay.
I'll make a motion. Pat and Jackie for training and Taylor. And $200 plus mileage.
their support? Or normally we give a price, but I guess we don't.
Well, I got.
Well, it's $200 for the class.
No, that's fair.
There's gonna probably be one car anyway.
I'm just saying, normally we had mileage in.
It's what, 45 miles? 120.
So whatever your,
$54.
so $54.
$254.
So the rest of the motion, the full motion.
Would be for 200.
Okay, got that. Yep. Okay. Second.
Kelly, Dan,
Yes.
Pat. Kathy, yes.
Yes. The next, last I have is, we put this in our budget, for the, at the, annual meeting, to, building addition on. At the cemetery. Solicit bids for that. We're putting on a pool type structure with a concrete floor for storage of the, tractor and other supplies. Lawnmower and the, stuff, so that they can have space for, burial stuff. That really small. The building that we're looking at, doing 24 by 30.
Is that another thing that we should make a spec sheet and send them out again? But should we send them out instead of putting it in the paper again?
Well, there are quite a few contacts.
I know, then we can send them out.
That's doing the same thing. Put it out on the paper, that's not a specialized field.
Be a licensed builder. Licensed builder. Special things.
It's not a restricted field.
Okay, so
Motion for that. A motion to put it in the paper to solicit bid.
And also, is there support? Okay, Young, are there any questions? Roll call, please.
Kelly, Dan.
Yes.
Pat. Yes. Yes, yes, Ernie.
Yes, motion carried.
Chair, before you go, I missed an opportunity, put something on the agenda because I was thinking that there was a special meeting where you can't act. But I'll be brief. It has it's pretty much about that marijuana water thing. But you covered it, but I just want to say, a lot of times we come in and a lot of back and forth with the public, and sometimes we get bored about some disagreements about what should come through the board. And I would advocate that at one point, maybe all of us sit down and maybe talk about what we think should come through the board. Because I think some of the issues we really run into because and it's really like, for instance, there's some things that the marijuana water thing, okay? That was an issue. Just three things tonight, like the Aflac bill thing, the lien on Angel's property thing. It's just those are some things that are disagreeable, or we're disagreeing about, that should have come through the board. And then later we like not in agreement. But here's something real quick. And this is probably why you guys have such a hell of a time with this. Because this is what I believe I read so many times. It says the decisions of a public body must be made in public. That's probably one of the biggest sticking points. all decisions made in public, here amongst all board members. The deliberation of the body, the process of arriving at a decision must also be done in public. With limited exceptions. You can go in private session for personal matters and legal. Okay. It's not just the vote or final decision of a public body that must be done in an open meeting. The public has the right to observe a public body arrive at a decision, including the members of the body listening to or receiving information, asking questions, and sharing opinions. And this is all part of what we do. So some of these sticking points, like when a lawyer tells me that we sat here and we voted when Aflac came to accept the insurance, we voted on the list of people.
Yes, we did.
If later on someone asked their name, we didn't vote. And that's what the lawyer said is the problem.
We would need
And,
adopt the resolution.
and it, yes, right, and it doesn't matter. Because I asked the lawyer, I said, well, what is the person thing out of the pocket? It doesn't matter. The decision was the board's. You can't come later and make one on your own, just add yourself. So I don't make this stuff up, is what I'm saying. So everything has to be done here amongst five people. So that's what we bump heads so much, because I believe that, and I've read this so many times. So when I hear that something wasn't done, that's kind of on my mind. Well, you know, you take the lien, it came up when Pat made she made a statement, when she understood that, yeah, I should have went to the board. So we got that, you know, but when it was brought up again, it can't be dodged that it wasn't outlined as it was, because here's the thing. The board voted to actually do the assessment and have the yard cleaned up. The board should have voted to have the assessment taken off and have the lien put on. You see, that's still in the board decision of the individual.
That was the state of Michigan decision.
I was
But the
gonna say, I
board
thought
didn't
the
make-
state of Michigan changed that, not
Not us.
How did the state change?
the state says a lien, not an assessment.
That's,
Yeah, but-
the county gave us the information that we had to do
Okay, but see, this,
in order to see. to
I
get
get
money
it,
back.
but it still didn't come to the board to do that. Well, that's the point.
I thought it was
The state tells us,
So here's the communication.
no, I'm sorry, let me finish this for a minute. See, this is where some of our contention is, because it wasn't what really happened is that it was put on incorrectly, and you said the state said it had to be changed.
It was a new law.
Since,
Then, yes, we had to change it.
okay,
I
which,
had to- I could
which-
get the paperwork.
I'd like to
get the
see it.
date of when that was given to me.
and that's not what I'm disputing. Matter of fact, I'm for all law. What I'm saying is, but there's still all the decisions to go forward with something still come through the board.
The decision to the lawsuit did go through the board. And
Yes,
so,
that ain't what I'm talking about.
so finishing out the lawsuit would be placing the lien on.
No, but there,
So see, it's a communication issue. is what we're-
well, actually, it's the communication issue. I guess you could say that, but the point is, when we made a decision, it was made here and here. But when it was changed by someone.
Okay, I see what you're saying, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't hear about it until later.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so again, we're still at, things come through the board. The statute says all business gotta come through the board. So when
What
things
we
are
need to
done,
do then is have a special meeting when we do that. We need to bring that up because,
we got,
we can't just sit and talk. We've already found that out. If we sit and talk as a board, it's considered a meeting.
Yeah.
We gotta
And
follow
if all
something.
meetings are public, then if that's how it's gotta be, then the public, it is open to the public from nine to noon or 9 to 1, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I know, but if we're all here discussing things, it's a meeting.
well, that, I think you gotta get off.
In order to, because if we have, if we have an idea, we're brainstorming back and forth, and everybody's here, it's a meeting.
And they have to be posted.
Right, and they have to be,
But what you guys talk
but
about?
this stuff happens
You
all
gotta-
day long.
What about the board getting together?
Yeah, you gotta get on
So
track.
the board's gotta get together every day then.
Yeah, but here's the thing, in this says that we're supposed to meet and talk about public business.
You're not being.
So how do we do that?
Then you have to be here from 9 to 1 every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
No,
so
no,
it's
see,
not-
how do we take care of business and still be in compliance?
Yes.
That's the easiest part.
Exactly, I guess that's a good.
How do-
How do we take care of
Okay,
this?
we have a once-a-month meeting posted, maybe in the morning. Or maybe in the evening.
So the whole-
No, right here, right now.
The agenda is to discuss what you just mentioned.
well, however we do it, because it appears that there's business that comes up during meetings that you feel that you don't have time for, or it doesn't need to come to order, or whatever.
Well, see, that's
Business
communication
that
difference
comes
now.
up
My
constantly.
opinion is different than yours, so we need to get those opinions out
Well,
when we're together.
that's what, one of the things I asked, maybe we need to sit down and decide which should come before the board and what doesn't. You know, because, this wastewater thing.
Yeah.
We voted yes to allow a third party.
Yeah.
That's where it ended.
Yeah.
That's where it ended. So someone made a decision and someone billed for 3 years, almost 2.5 years. So somebody made a decision that it didn't come before the board on allowing that dumping. So that's still a problem. That never came. We didn't get a chance to weigh in and see if they had the permits in order or anything.
Did Sam talk to you about all that when that was going on? Because the only thing I got is still.
What I got was that, he said, we need somebody that, these guys wanna put the wastewater in there, so, well, I don't know anything about that. And it said, you better find out, what the procedures are, but we just can't just go there and dump.
So the conversation was between you and Sam.
Correct. So he,
Not Pat and Bert.
he's licensed.
So we-
his license on the line.
I know that. I was not involved in that decision.
He went right to the
So
Yeah, it's acceptable.
if they were to come to the board properly, we may need to test to see if everybody's correctly licensed and have permits and all that.
And we would have documentation.
We would have
probably
it.
from the, that Eric guy saying it was okay.
Right, we would have something, you know, so that was just another thing that didn't come. So, again, maybe I guess we need to decide, take a look at what needs to come before and what doesn't. But the easiest answer is the state says everything. But if there's some things that you have to make a decision about, that you can't wait, how do you handle that? That should come to the board.
What we got is 2 emergency people, and that would be an emergency. 2 emergency people, 2 board members. And then bring it to the board.
So I bring that up because I think a lot of the pushback we get is because some of the public is saying that we make decisions and we do things and we don't bring it here. If we can remedy that, maybe some of the pushback. Because that will show that all decisions are made with all 5 people in front of the public.
Let's set up a meeting date to have a discussion.
Okay, you want to set up a meeting date?
Well, it ain't gonna be right away, but I'm just saying eventually.
So set up a meeting,
We have
so
an
we
18
can
hour
discuss what has to be talked about in the meeting. It's a regular statutory duties. I don't think.
No, they don't.
Discuss.
Because you already got those cleared up.
Right.
Yeah, they're already approved, yeah.
But
What's that, the statutory? No, your statutory's all set.
the meetings are statutory duties.
You talking about the law.
I know. Give us a date.
That what all the townships do?
No.
They have-
No, they don't.
No,
Why are you?
I wonder.
we don't have to have one, I guess, if and actually, I was still unpaid if we can just tack down that we figure out, actually, I can clear it up. No decisions, like this is, unless it comes to the board from the top.
Well, we did
That's the
that,
simplest thing.
we did that already. It got in trouble with the Meeting Act. Sam, we didn't make any decisions on that.
Well, we got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, I walked in.
I know. Even if you do that,
It wasn't planned,
it's gonna be a meeting.
it wasn't
You should have
planned,
stopped it.
but it was,
Yep.
it was something that was done that happens more than it should. probably.
Yes,
So that's what I'm saying.
That's,
Some of this pushback we get is because it's being mentioned that some things are happening, occurrences that don't come through me. And sometimes it's because some of us don't think that things have to come through me.
yeah, like I said, that's communication. So we'll work on it.
Let's set a date for that meeting, because I think that like when you had your discussion with Sam in the morning, maybe a trustee should be there with you when you're having your morning discussion with Sam. Because that's usually when your ideas come out.
What are you telling,
Right.
Well, I'm not telling
are
Sam.
you making decisions?
I felt,
No,
Right.
no, you're not, no,
no.
but he's telling you that this is what I'm gonna need, this is what I'm gonna ask for. Chief comes to me, says, I'm gonna ask for this stuff. I mean, does that have to be, does somebody else have to be there for that when he's asking you those questions?
Well,
No, you're
the
taking
thing
it
we're
away.
talking about is you gave a budget of $500 per occurrence. You can spend $500, right? Each one of those people you spoke of are already authorized. Also.
But no, I'm saying, he says he's gonna come and ask for some $2,000 thing.
If he goes over,
He's asking me if that's okay,
well, he can't. If
but
he
now
goes,
he can't do that.
no, now if he's going over his budget, then he's supposed to come back to the board. 'Cause
he brings it to the
I know,
board.
No, what I'm saying, he wants to let us know that within his budget, he's purchasing this $2,000 thing that he said, or that he's gonna come and ask the board for it.
Right.
So when he has that conversation with me, because he's just saying and letting you know that I'm gonna ask for this, I need to get someone else involved.
no, you're being ridiculous. and you know- You're being ridiculous and you know it.
Okay, well, that's the kind of stuff that happens
No,
all day long.
the actual decision is being made when you bring
At
it
the meeting,
at the
right?
meeting. That's the decision time.
But I'm saying things like that come up all the time.
But that doesn't hurt anything because the final decision rests with us. That's just a conversation he's having. with us.
Okay, so then what if he says, okay, I wanna buy a Yeti cooler for $375? That was not budgeted for.
He's under, that's his.
I would say,
$500.
then he's asking me that, and it's under his thing, but I would say no, because it's not in his budget. But I can't say that with just him and me. 'Cause
You
it's
tell
not
him
in
to bring
his
it
budget.
to the board.
Well,
But it's under the $500.
honestly, I've always heard that statement too. You
I
would
know,
say,
it's all picky any shit, it's just so.
it's not.
No, you're making it ridiculous. This is where the clown show comes in. No. Well, then explain to me why on December the 8th of 2021, you walked into the clerk's office screaming, I just deposited $5,000 from my personal account to the bank. Yeah, right. You wish. Pack your bags, it's happening. They just motioned.
He hasn't put the gavel.
Let her go, let her go, let her go. It's gonna be on video tomorrow anyway, YouTube.
What?
Just to bring it back.
Like you know, $100. That's on the system.
You're earning.
It's in the deposit.
So just to bring it back. Yeah,
We
just-
tell her $100
Don't set up a meeting.
that you have paid for.
Before you adjourn, Mr. Wiggowski, I have a question. It's important.
It's not public.
It'll save you time and money.
Okay.
Was the electricity for the maintenance building put out for bid, or is it just a?
It was put out for bid.
Yes, long ago.
Now, what about the electricity in the shed for the cemetery? Is it in the bid? So that way you won't have to do it later when it costs more. Have it all done at once. If you done it all at once there, it'd save you $2,000.
Well, he has an opportunity to
I
do
think
that.
all we need in that is a light bulb and a light switch, and I think that
All the electricity has to be put in at once. That's the way you do it. That's why you general contractor who does these things.
Well, if we get a general contractor.
Is it gonna be in the bid? Are you that you're gonna be a general contractor?
Am I what?
Are you, Ernie Bogowski, gonna be the general contractor for the new shed? All right, so those other two really stuck in my front.
So, Mr. Chair, just to, I guess we can hit it all. But, if sometime we can sit and talk, because I think, I don't want.
Is the meeting adjourned?
I don't
No.
want, I don't want Pat to miss
Whoa.
anything.
There's no vote to adjourn.
Ernie never put his gavel down.
He wasn't here.
No, he had to take off.
Doesn't make a difference. You don't have to have a vote to adjourn.
Oh.
So at some time we need to talk, because I don't want Pat to misunderstand what the book says. I'm not, I don't think we should nitpick. That's not the idea. So if we have to sit down and say, this, do I need to read for this? Do we need to say no?
Yes, I believe sometimes there's gonna be things that need to be answered in life. You know, we're dealing with AT&T and we're dealing with Microsoft, and we have to have those answers. We can't wait a month.
But do you have a
I
copy
will
of?
be texting you like I do, and trying to call you and emailing you, everything that I got.
Well, that's an emergency,
Well,
right? Because,
not just emergency stuff.
well, because the city, because that's the only one that makes a decision outside of the meeting.
Yes, but some of the stuff that I texted you, that was for your information.
Right. But this, thank you. Yeah, good night. Yep, well, see, so my reference is just some of the sticking points. Now, you don't have